Hello, I am J.C. Carey the poet. It's a law of physics that for each action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And it's a fact of metaphysics that for each movement of thought there is equal resistance. I call this poem Dagger for the Prince. There is always a dagger for the prince, a weapon with no fingerprints, because it is wielded by greed. All falsehood lies beyond what we need. The prince was born for the dagger, starting out as a little swagger, winding up with a full-blown pride, which the adversary will not abide. The Prince of Darkness needs a dagger. Our suffering is his matter. Many will covet his favor. Some of them are called neighbors. Yes, always a dagger for the prince. His advisor never tells, only hints. There is danger lurking all around, and not one honest man to be found. The dagger may seem medieval, but is still in the midst of evil, the razor's edge of terrorizing, on the pretense of chastising. Yes, always a dagger for the prince. The black passage will insist the scepter of benevolence be violated with violence. The prince and his milady had better live for today, for the invisible tomorrow will perceive how time is hollow. Sometimes a switchblade for the prince, not the grip, but what is in it, the ogre behind the plan, who needs a patsy to be had. Conspiracy connives with knives, paid assassins, sins despise, the cloak and dagger of behavior on the dark side of courageous. Why always a dagger for the prince? Too many can be convinced to gang up on the challenged in order to gain advantage. Fie, a dagger for the prince. Aspiration is bewitched, both a blessing and a curse, if there is any difference. Beware the stare of desist, crossing over any distance, and need not be even a prince. Only princely thoughts a man thinks. And also a dagger for a king who tries to improve something, as the bankers are digging deep for all the wealth they want to keep. Yes, always a dagger for the prince. Life is tenuous at best, and strenuous at least, down in the bowels of the beast. Oh, a dagger for the prince is sometimes self-inflicted when force is too strong for the system, a frantic, spastic, gasping finish, harnessing the voltage of the earth with rare elements in reserve, appearing and relentless. Even the princes are defenseless. The dagger and the prince do a dance, reel around each other in a trance. Paid the piper with a viper, the serpent's current of hyper. Always a dagger for the prince, or chronic pain making him unfit, crippling magnetic attacks, electric daggers in his back. Yes, always a dagger for the prince. A chink in his armor is weakness, exposing his flaws to all, waiting for the mighty to fall. A fated dagger for the prince. As it was twisted, he winced. Et tu, Brute? and Annabel Lee, his cry was heard from the belfry. The two faces of the prince, a dual-edged existence, the cause and effect of being raised. The blade is cutting both ways. Brow-beaten even as adorned, crowned with the devil's horns, a subtle attack no one believes, but the Prince of Peace knows what he sees. A dagger for the prince and the pauper. Matters not what is in the coffers. The dagger is indiscriminate. Anyone can be stabbed in a minute. Yes, always a dagger for the prince and anyone with real vision. The men in black robes plotting view the truth as needing stopping. The minions is kind of a prince, a sage which has had a glimpse of what is kept well hidden in the castle keep of forbidden. Can the prince become a dagger? Is he shot enough to dark matter? Can he cut through the secrecy, both political and priestly? Only a few have gone the distance to win the keys of the kingdom, turning the lock with open hand. This is how it's done in Wonderland. A dagger for the little prince, or exiled as if a jinx, a potential to rally allies against the corruption and the lies. Always a dagger for the prince. Time will make us all convinced. The grace we take will rebound, and through the hall shall resound. The king is dead. Long live the king. A short reprieve for the prince, living a life of privilege until becoming a prisoner. Yes, always a dagger for the prince. A scathing review of revision, the last bastion of everlasting, is a soul impervious to daggers. Blue bloods with words not to mince, teach the contender not to flinch. A prince is born in the cavalcade, but by adversity a king is made. Each will make himself obsolete, a mission of completion, a predetermined extinction. How there is a dagger for the prince. Yes, always a dagger for the prince, for there is already a king, one who comprises everything, including the dagger for the prince. Thank you.